Hello everybody, this is White Wolf, and we are going live, and we're going to be talking about divine justice and being the underdog, being underwritten. If anybody in your life has always looked at you as too small, too short, too this or too that, you're not wealthy enough, you're not doing this enough, just know that the divine knows that you're enough. The divine knows who you are. The divine knows what you're capable of, and knowing that there will always be divine justice for the ones who are bold enough to go on the path, to stick it out, to be bold with the way that you want your life to go, with the way that you want to shift to the vibration. Knowing that the powers that be, the powers that have influenced the financial systems, the way that we watch, the way that we eat, the way that we talk, and the way that we conditioned ourselves on this human earth plane to be a certain way, to act a certain way, and knowing that you can be the underdog and you can persevere through trials, tribulations, conditionings, and also circumstances, that you're always going to be the one that prevails over the challenge, over what is too tough for you. It will always be easy. It would always have ease, grace, and wisdom. So divine justice will always happen, knowing that if you've been underwritten, if you've had your innocence robbed from you, if you've been told that you can't do something, if you've been bullied, and if you've been many different things in many different lifetimes, know that justice will always be served for the ones who are bold enough to receive the undeniable, incorruptible blessing of God's source energy. Just know that you are always willing to be a recipient of energy and have it reciprocated back to you. And knowing that people who have power, people who have misused power, people who have manipulated, who have distorted this energy, that is going to be completely obliterated, and it's allowing light workers to unite on this front so that we can bring about change, peace, equality, tranquility, and knowing that we don't have to follow the societal norms, and knowing that every light worker goes through the dark night of the soul to usher in greater unity, greater synchronization, greater manifestation into who you really are. So that was my opening for this live feed. I had to get some caffeine in me. So hello everybody, this is White Wolf. Welcome to the live feed. Also, you can book private sessions, 1 hour for $70 for readings, healings, activation codes, downloads. And I wanted to talk about divine justice. So a lot of light workers have trauma. A lot of light workers have been abused, rather it's verbally, rather it's sexually, rather it's something that you had no control over, or people have looked at you as a pushover in life, that you're insignificant, that you're all these things that are not who you are. And that's why it always feels bad when people do this, because parents, friends, family, relationships, we go through all of these things to come to this realization that it's time to awaken. It's time to align to our truest vibration. It's time to align to who we really are and what speaks to our life and what we want to represent on this earth plane. So all of you as light workers, we're all underdogs in a sense, because we never felt comfortable here. We never felt comfortable in our own skin. We've never felt comfortable with our own family. We've never felt comfortable just working that job that we absolutely hate. So the way that we try to get away from stagnation is that we try to channel a divinity that's inside of us that allows us to change and to shift into these different parallel realities and aspects, and also ways of living, wanting to be more prosperous, wanting to take more chances, wanting to be more bold in how you express yourself by your divine expression. So divine justice is meaning that all of the things that you've gone through, all of the things that you've had to persevere over, everything that you've had to go through thus far has led you to purify where you're coming from instead of where you're going. So it's like, if there has been conflict in your life, if there has been a relationship cycle that has happened for way too long, or maybe that you're ready to move away from your own family, maybe you're wanting to find your soul family, maybe you're wanting to meditate more, maybe you're wanting to go on the path and express yourself in a certain way, but you don't know really how, or you don't know who to talk to. So this happens a lot in our lives because all of us have been underdogs. We've always been underwritten, undersold, and we've always been taught to go by these conditionings, to save all your money, to do all of these things that lead to more suffering, that lead to pushing the inner child back into our subconscious, that allows us to really not heal, but to believe more of the assumption of the illusion. Instead of using the law of absorption, we use the law of consumption. So we consume the suffering, the bad thoughts, the bad emotions, and the toxic cycles of being a toxic person. So we adopt that, and then we have to shake that identification of that ego complex, because it is not a mind and a body and a spirit aligned. It doesn't have any freedom. So how do we get that freedom? How do we get the free will to be so free to express who you are and to find true enlightenment? This is when divine justice happens, when a situation happens, or we are literally just saved by the divine out of the darkness. Because sometimes we have to experience the darkness to find the light. And sometimes the divine picks us right out of the darkness and places us right on the path. This is where we learn how to be grateful. We learn how to be accepted. We learn how to be vulnerable, be more sensitive, to be more unconditional and non-attached to everything within our reality. So essentially, what you need to know that justice is always served when there have been wrongdoings for many lifetimes. Like if there's people in power, they will be exposed and everything will come to the surface. The light will always come to the surface and bring about all the dirty, mucky, muddy things. So it's kind of like a politician or a lawyer or your parents or something that's happened in your life that you've had no control over, or you were bullied as a kid, or you know that everybody has been deciding your life for your entire life, and you're just completely tired of that because you want to awaken and you want to make your own decisions. So divine justice is really as simple as telling that friend who always borrows money from you, and every time he sees you, he wants to borrow money from you. And then it's that one time where you stop helping that friend and you teach him that lesson and you reflect back to him how he's being deceptive and manipulative, right? So you make that stand, and that's divine justice in and of itself, removing something out of your life using the law of subtraction. So every time that you were bullied, every time that you were abused, every time that you were sexually abused, just know that there's always divine justice. And as the underdog story that you're living out, just know that there will be a lot of changes. There will be a lot of hurdles. There will be a lot of challenges and trials and tribulations, but they lead you to that peace and that happiness in the life that you've always wanted. They are always leading you to that oasis, to the golden arches. Excuse me. So they're always leading you to that path to find yourself once again, to remember who you really are, instead of this assumption that you've made of this identity, of this human in this name that you have adopted from your own government, right? So live your life how you want to live your life. Be the person that you want to be. Don't force yourself to be something that you're not. And don't assume that you have a position and know that you are positionless, and know that you're omnipresent, and know that you're a growing organism, and that you're changing, and the foundations are being built within yourself. And you're trying to find the source codes. You're trying to find the particle accelerator within yourself so that you're able to place the puzzle pieces together so that you can complete the portrait of your life. So a lot of the times as light workers, we feel like, what's taken so long? I've asked for this. Why hasn't this been corrected? Why am I still having these conflicts? Why do I bump into these people from other lifetimes and I have to clear these lifetime progressions? Well, it's just a part of the journey. But once you get past it, once you heal from it, once you find your worthiness, and you also find that sense of direction, and you find that conscious compass that you know that you can go north, east, south, and west, and you know where the divine is going to take you. So just know that there's always divine justice for the underdogs, for the people that have been undersold, undercut. You felt like you had to work harder than anybody else in your life, and you probably have. And you realize that you're not a victim of that, but it actually leads to more victories. It actually leads to more peak moments. It actually leads to different situations, different relationships, and different experiences that you have yet to experience yourself. So just know that the underdogs always have goals and ambitions and drives and different ways and avenues to go about their journey, to find their own resonance, to find their own truth, and to unlock the keys of their own destiny. And come to this realization, yes, it's in the acting, and yes, it's in the allowing, but sometimes you just have to allow things to come to you. You have to allow the blessing to come to you. I'm not saying don't look for the blessing. I'm not saying don't go after the blessing. But I'm saying just allow the blessing to become you. Allow the vision to become who you are. And when you allow that vision to become absolutely who you are, you will see that it will play out in these different configurations of energy. So if you guys are liking this live, like it, love it, get some more of it, share out. Also book a private session with me for $70 for an hour for psychic readings, healings, activations. And yes, I did reference Tim McGraw. I did. I've said this for years. Because it's just simple things. It's finding the serenity and the serendipity and the simplicity of life. It's seeing that cardinal that's flying around and just enjoying the wind and the trees and everything that is there that is so sacred and precious to us. It's just finding that time to go out in nature and ground yourself and have your own metaphysical ceremony with your guides, your higher self, and your loved ones on the other side who are watching over you every single day. So what I wanted to get across in this message, because there are a lot of things that are coming to the surface, a lot of revelations, and also you're seeing that the people who have the most power, that are being locked up, they're going to jail, they've manipulated people for years, and they're getting what they were expecting most of the time. Their time and their luck just ran out. Well, that is happening so that there can be different leaders, so that there can be different leaders of energy, because we've had our financial system, the way that we eat, the way that we view TV, the way that we go about life, the way that we dress. We've all been conditioned and manipulated to go about life in this way, that you have to have a status, a car, this and that, and all these things to prove your own worthiness. So, and we've manipulated what success is, what happiness is, that you have to have a wife and a kid or this or that, and that you're not able to be comfortable in your own divine skin. So it's not based in your height, it's not based in your weight, it's not based in your gender or your race, but it's based in your soul. And that's what we're separating ourselves. It's not separating ourselves from ascension, but it's really separating what makes us a toxic human instead of what actually makes us human within the metaphysical range of energy. So it's learning how to deal with ourselves. It's learning how to conduct ourselves in a different way. And I'm not saying you're going to be perfect, and I'm not going to say that you're not going to go to the gas station and not like the energy there, because that's just a part of it. But if you can gain the ability to know that you can be that beacon of light, you can be that channel, you can be that part of that divine essence that allows people to be comfortable with who they are, and knowing that you've always had this grace on your life and everything has happened for a transcendent reason, to find your purposeful purpose, because it all happens for a reason. At the end of the day, it happens for a reason. We're also going to be doing a meditation very, very soon. We're going to be just delving into this message that I'm channeling for my higher self. And also, you guys can book private sessions for $70 for 1 hour. Feel free to share out. Feel free to like. And also message me on TikTok if you don't find me, if you don't see the links down below. This is White Wolf. So what I wanted to get across is, because I've been seeing a lot of things happen and a lot of things being exposed, a lot of people being exposed, a lot of things that are being brought out into the open, and people showing their true colors, and knowing that we can see that, and how do we act accordingly? How do we act proactively? How do we see how that happens and interpret it in the wave of energy? How can we interpret it not with a person's subject to object relationship, but the relationship to the I am? And we can see it through that lens, so that we're not going by bias or opinion, that we can finally go at this with truth, love, and unity. So there's always a different way that you can go about your experiences, your circumstances, people, places, and things, and knowing that you don't have to keep making the same decisions. You don't have to keep making the same choices. You don't have to keep being the same person. You just have to break the habit of being that old self, so that you can finally accept your new self. So once we do that, then a lot of things in our life start to change, and a lot of things in our life start to flow. And a lot of things in our life tend to get more heightened, and we see ourselves in different situations, people, places, and things that give us more wisdom and integrity and more lessons. There's always a lesson behind everything. And there's always a time and a place for everything too. So sometimes we can try to force ourselves to heal, but sometimes the divine will take care of that. And sometimes we can be so worried about something not happening, and then the divine takes care of it. And it's kind of letting go of having to control anything, because knowing that the divine will always give you justice. And what we do as humans most of the time, we always feel like we have to Rocky Balboa for that justice. And I don't feel like we have to do that. We don't have to hold banners up and do all this other stuff that's actually more self-destructive and self-sabotaging than actually bringing a sense of unity. We don't have to fight all of our battles. The divine has us in the palm of its hand. So the divine has us in the palm of our hand, in the palm of their hand. It could be in the palm of your hand, whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. The message doesn't have to be flawless. I mean, I've kind of shown that I am a little caffeinated, but it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what the beautiful thing is. As people, we don't have to be perfect. As people, all we have to do is really be yourself, and the divine will love you for it. The divine will always favor the bold, and the divine will always favor the risk takers. Will always favor the ones that stand out among the rest. And some people are just not ready for you. Some people are not ready for the new you, for the awakened you, for the alive you. But it's not even you, it's the I am, but some people are not ready for that revelation. And it's really like we're here to find our own path and our own sense of family and our own sense of who we really are. We're here to find that. So we have to start all over again when we awaken, and knowing that justice will always be served, and knowing that this underdog story brings about humble beginnings. So it brings about humble beginnings. And hello, Scott Fam Jam. Good evening. Thank you. I do read your guys' comments. So also, if the feed is good, let me know. I've kind of just went ahead and did the message, but it seems like the feed is good. I didn't even check the internet connection. So if you guys can leave in the comments if the feed is good, that would be very much appreciated. Also, you can book private sessions for 1 hour, $70 for activations, healings, readings, and all that good stuff. So thank you for your likes and thank you for your shares. And just know that whatever happened to you in your past is done. Place everything in your desired present reality. Don't wait on the future. Don't try to chase the future like the Flash. You don't have to do that. Place everything you fucking want in the present reality right here, right now, and it is done. Because you asked. You've asked all these years. You've believed and had faith and stability and security and courage in knowing that you're always receiving and that you're emulating that blessing. You're emulating that blessing because you've been the underdog. You've gone through these life progressions. You've gone through your shadow. You've gone through your soul contracts, your twin flames, your soulmates, your family, healing past lifetime progressions, and also just going through different circumstances, going through different waves of energy and healing and growing and shifting. You should be proud of yourself, and you should give yourself like a hug or it's good. It's good. You know, dap yourself up, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. I think in spirituality, we always feel like we have to take ourselves like ultra serious. And sometimes I get too technical and I want to do all of this different speech. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because the divine has appointed you and propelled you to this point. And there's no sense of giving up. Because if you give up now, everybody always gives up right before they make it. And there's been times in my spiritual journey, you know, everybody goes through this. There's not one person that's like, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. I don't want to fucking do it. I don't want to go live again. I don't want to fucking do another reading again. Or something happens in your life. Everybody has gone through this. But that actually means that you're doing the right thing if you feel that way. And if any light worker says they have never said that, they got a lot of ego and vanity, and you probably should stay away from them because they have a God complex. And yes, we are God manifested in the human form, but we're here to be a teacher, a guide, and an example. So be a good example. Be a good brother. Be a good sister. And know that everything that is right and just for you, and I know that there is no right or wrong, but for me, for the sake of me saying this, just know everything that is peaceful, loving, and right for you will happen in due time. And just know that with forgiveness, with letting go, with transcendence, and rising above everything, you will always persevere because you're the underdog that has searched for this divine justice. So it doesn't matter what happened to you when you're a kid, your inner child will meet you once again. You will get past your past. You will have a dark night of the soul. And you will be a part of the present. And you'll be a part of a growing union and a nation of light workers that are here to bring about this change through their experiences, through their own teachings, and through their own healing of wanting more out of life. And if I fumbled my words a couple times when I first started this live, I was kind of fumbling my words because I'm a little over-caffeinated. But we're going to do a meditation, so take part in this meditation. I believe there's going to be something important for you all when I do this meditation. So as we are meditating, I want you to meditate about healing. I want you to meditate about coming into balance, grounding, about seeing all of the moments in your life that's led up to this point, that have led up to this point right here, right now. You have the ability to give your life to God's source energy and the great I am, grounding deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth. At this moment, you get to receive the undeniable, incorruptible source of creation flowing through your veins. Everybody can focus on an object. Everybody can lay down if you want to. You can also just sit, whatever you want to do with this meditation. Everybody take a deep breath. Exhale. Allow us to let go of all the negative life progressions, the negative soul contracts, the negative twin flames, and the soulmates. Allow ourselves to think in a different way, to view life in a different way, to view the world in a different way, and knowing that we don't have to fight our own battles, but knowing that the divine justice will be served, and we will allow ourselves to be vindicated without having to really fight for it, without having to hold up a sign, without having to incite violence, without having to do anything, instead of sitting in this meditative state and accepting the present here and now, the power that is present here and now, of us becoming one with the universe, becoming the heart of the universe, and becoming God's source energy manifested in the human body. Forgive what cannot be forgiven. Forgive others even though it's hard to forgive others. Forgive yourself and let go of that burden and that weight that is on your shoulders. That is too heavy to carry. And allow the divine to lift that off of your shoulders. Allow them to lift you up. Allow them to be a renewal, a change within yourself. A new heart. New eyes, new vocabulary of how you speak about things. Know that all the relationships that we have are agreements. The only way to love is to be not attached. The only way to be kind is to be unconditional. And the only way to be true is to not be biased. And allow our old selves to stay back there. They don't need to ride in the back seat, they just need to go and they need to leave. But you have to love that person and you have to let them go so that you can accept the present self. And you can't just run like the Flash or run like the wind and chase your future self. Purify where you're coming from instead of where you're going. And know that everything that you want is right here. Between you and the Creator. Between you and the I Am. And now you can use the law of assumption and know that it is done. Everything that you place in your desired reality, it is done. Everything that you wrote in your journal, everything that you meditated upon this morning, everything that you've been wishing for 10 years, 20 years, the things that were a conflict, there's a resolution. You've been the underdog long enough. You've had your humble beginnings, but now it's time for the next stage. It's time for the best things. It's time for the joy. It's time for the laughter. It's time for the easiest of manifestations and the easiest way to subtract more out of your life. Attract the situations, the people, places, and things, and the experiences that you want. Justice is always served. You've already been vindicated, and you've already been anointed and appointed to be the source of energy that you are right now. And the people that you've lost are always watching you. The people that you've lost, the loved ones on the other side, are always watching you and guiding you and watching your steps. Your archangels, your guides, they're all with you on this ride. There is great love, there is great grace for us all. There is always forgiveness, and there's always redemption for every single one of us. And in this trust, in this relaxation, you're never going to find it in someone. You can see God within someone, but that person's never going to find it for you. You're never going to find it in a place. You're never going to find it in a song, but you're always going to find it within. And once we go within, there is no going back. And then the outer world and the outer appearances change from what is within. Know you are divine justice, and that you are no longer the underdog. And so it is. So thank you for being a part of that meditation. I hope the live feed is good. Just let me know if the connection's good in the comments section. Also, if you would like to book a private session for readings, healings, activation, codes, downloads, this is White Wolf. Let me know in the comments section if the internet connection was good. So thank you all for being a part of this live feed. And also thank you for being a part of this meditation. Also, thank you so much. And thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. Message me on TikTok, if you can find me on Facebook or YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle for YouTube, Instagram, whitewolf4741, BitChute, White Wolf the Oracle 23_@. Also on TikTok, you can message me if you want to book a private session. So thank you so much. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. This is White Wolf. Know that you are loved, and know that you are part of the favored, the bold, and the chosen, and everything is rigged in your favor. God bless you all. Thank you. And namaste.